Hey guys, Flying Ross here. Thanks for coming back to my channel. Today I would like to discuss the ground forces aspect of War Thunder and specifically crew skills. Now, I made a video on this over a year ago, back when it was closed beta and there wasn't really that much knowledge about what it affects fully and what's beneficial. But now, after playing ground forces for quite some time and everybody else playing it as well, I believe that now I can put out a list of really the areas that you should be focusing with those very precious crew skills and those crew skill points. So if we go here, this is my Tiger 1. We go into crew here, we find out that, I have a lot of things maxed out. But we go to tank loader. So we have 1, 2, 3, we got 5 different positions. Now, not every tank's going to use all 5 positions or every vehicle, but we have, different things for each each person. Like the driver, well, obviously he does tank driving. The commander has leadership skill. The radio operator has radio communication, but then also has gunfire and gun reloading. So I believe the number one place you should definitely start out is weapon reloading. So weapon reloading right here, I have 50 out of 50, and then I have another 50 on top of it because I have this aced out. Now if we go into the research tree, if we look at this, okay, this sits at 8.3 seconds right now, but if we take this out, and I want to actually show you this as well, this right here says 11.5 seconds. This right here, now this is not in a crew, okay, so my Tiger 2P shows 11 and a half seconds. Now remember, the Tiger 2P and the Tiger 2H has the same cannon, the same exact setup. The only thing that's different is the armor that's on the turret, and then yeah, that's about it. The horsepower is the same as well. So nonetheless, the same exact thing. So we see that it's 13 seconds. Now remember, I have this fully maxed out. I don't have it aced, but if we put this into service, now remember, it was 13 seconds there, now it's 11 and a half seconds. So we lost, second and a half on reloading time. We got a second and a half faster. And so that is definitely really crucial, especially when you're battling it out, to have that maxed out. So the second thing I would say is the most important aspect in crew will go then to your gunner with the targeting and range finding. The targeting is how fast it actually moves the turret and when you aim, getting the turret back onto target. Range finding then is, I would say it's more important for arcade because there is no range finding in realistic or simulator mode except for like when you raise the barrel and you're shooting it. Now it might come into play as you raise the barrel and the range finding is actually putting exactly on the trajectory that you're saying to fire on it. Maybe the higher that you have it on, the more precise it is, and then you'll see less deviation from if you stay right there on that. If you aim upwards on the aiming rectile, that it actually, you will see less deviation of a round going further and then round going shorter, and it'll actually keep on sticking at pretty much at the same spot. From there, we go into, so we covered the tank loader with weapon reloading, go into the gunner with targeting and range finding, and then I would go into, probably say the tank commander with the third or fourth thing that you should be increasing would be leadership, because it affects crew members across the board. It doesn't say how much percentage it does, but it does say that it affects crew members across the board. Now that's pretty arguably, if you, in my opinion, if you should invest that in that, not just because you can't see the statistics with it. If we go into this other crew and we go to the tank commander, he's maxed out as well. So I can't even compare the two between the Tiger 2 and Tiger 2H to see if it helped just a little bit or in a second on that reload or not. After that, I would have to say that you really would want to invest in keen vision. The ability to pick up your targets, especially in arcade or even in realistic, the ability to pick up your targets at a greater distance and get them on your radars sooner will give you a better situational awareness of where your tanks are and where the enemy tanks are. Now, in simulator battle, I don't know if that really comes into play. These are what I've been trying to do the video on. I've been playing the Tiger 2, P, and H. Now, I don't know if that comes into play with the rendering distance. It doesn't seem like it does. On a lot of maps, you can look across the spawn, and if they're in an open space, they're rendering. There are times that you have disappearing tanks. I don't know what that really is, or what that's, about, but I have seen it more with my Americans, which my American crews are not maxed out as much as my German crews. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. So if we go into the crew here, you know, I don't have like keen vision on any of my guys. I'm still working on weapon reloading for these guys because I played a lot more Germans. So with that being said, the keen vision here is definitely playing into that render sight and that rendering distance. So that would be another important factor. And then from there, if I stop hitting freaking modifications and go into crew, I would have to say field repair. Now this is obviously not a great freaking crew to show because this is my crappy American crew, but going to my German guy, you can see that having the field repair is something that I'm still working on too, and we want to get that field repair up because it increases the time or decreases the time that you're actually repairing. So especially like if you get shot in your chassis here in Tiger 2, now your side is exposed. You have to repair it. Now if you get that repair time to decrease, now you can get that repaired faster, get out of dodge, and get behind cover. So now the other ones that come into play, the radio communications, I mean, it could be important. I mean, it's talking between your tank and another tank to actually see other tanks, and then everything else, vitality. I don't know. Like I think everything else is arguably, you can argue between where you want to actually spend it. Vitality, sure, like you would want that. Tank driving, yes, I think tank driving is very important. I would definitely do tank driving before any vitality. And then yeah, but machine gunnery and bow machine gunnery and bow machine gun fire, like that's I think that's all like definitely the ones that you want to tear down or not really invest in. I definitely think that you would want to invest into the field repair. See, I can't buy anymore. And then let's go into qualifications. Like you can ace out things and you can get an expert with lions, and then you can actually use your lions to your golden lions to increase it as well and become an ace. So is it worth it? I don't know. I like in my mind I ace out things that I fly or drive a lot, and so I would definitely say that if you like that aircraft, if you like that tank, since we're talking about tanks, if you like that tank and you drive that like a lot, and that's like your tank, your main go-to tank, if you have a lot of lines, then yeah, spend it. If you have those golden eagles and like you have you're okay with spending it, then do it. I mean, it's not gonna hurt, that's for sure. And you might get advantage, especially if let's say you're in a realistic battle and you have the Tiger 2 and a Tiger 2 versus each other somehow, or even in arcade, like, you might get that little extra heads up on him. You might get that little extra reload speed and you'll be able to kill him before he kills you. So I hope you guys appreciate this. This is a really short video about crew skills. Now, if anyone has any comments, please put them below. If you have any experience and with what you think should go first, if you disagree with me, and if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. And if you have not, please subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate it greatly. As always, I'm the Flying Ross, and I'll check you guys later.